Hey guys, welcome to Wednesday's class. To get you warmed up, we're going to start with a half Tabata. So a Tabata is 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. We've got 4 movements on the board and you're going to cycle through them 4 times through. So the first movement is the scap press up. The key to the scap press up is keeping the elbows locked the entire time. And all we're going to think about is sinking through the shoulder blades and rounding up through the upper back. It's a really short range of motion and we're not bending at the elbow. The next one is a squat complex, so 1 sumo squat into 1 normal squat, and back and forth between those 2 movements over your 20 seconds. Then you're going to do 20 seconds of TWYs, TWY, and then 20 seconds of pike shoulder taps. So in the pike position, which is bum up in the air, working on our shoulder taps, putting more weight through the shoulders than through the plank position. All right, so for our conditioning, we're going to do 4 rounds for time of a 400-meter run, or if you don't have access to a 400-meter run around, 2 minutes of cardio. So that could be rowing, bike, skipping, star jumps, athletic burpees, butt kicks, jogging on the spot, high knees, or a combination of any of those things for that 2 minutes. Then you're going to do 12 pull-ups. So I'm going to attach underneath this another video demo from the summer of how to do door frame towel rows. Okay, so it's a variation on like a ring row that we would do if we had access to rings in the rig. So you can try that at home. If you have got like a door frame pull-up bar, you could wrap a towel around it, long, big towel, or a shower curtain, and do rows off of that. If you don't have access to any of those things, then we're just going to do bent over rows. Okay, so bent over row, either pulling the bar up to the chest, 2 dumbbells or kettlebells, or 1 single heavy item up to the chest and then down again. Okay, so 12 reps of those, and then 12 burpees. Good old chest and thighs to the floor with a little cheeky jump and clap at the top. 4 rounds, as quick as you can. Once we've completed that, we'll rest a little bit, and then we have kind of a handstand press-up skill and conditioning set. For this, just bear with me, there's some variations to think about depending on your ability and also what you have access to. So you're going to do 5 sets of a 30-second front rack hold. So for this, I'd be looking at you to, if you had a barbell, to just literally pick your bar up and hold it in this front rack position. Now, no matter what you're holding, this is what I want you to think about, is keeping your bum and your ribs tucked down. Okay, so squeezing your bum and bringing your ribs and your hips as close as you can, keeping everything locked in super tight. Okay, so we're really switching the core on. That's your main focus as we're keeping that weight in that front rack position. You're going to hold it for 30 seconds. If you don't have a bar, or sorry, the weights for the bar, something that I would say probably somewhere between 40 and 50%, maybe 60% of your 1 rep max. If you've got that, or let's just call it kind of 50 or 30 kilos, 60 or 40 kilos, something along those lines. Totally depends on what you have access to and what your front squat's like. But it should be something that you can hold for 30 seconds without worrying that you're not going to be able to hang on. Or if you don't have a barbell for that, then we're going to do as heavy object as we can in that front rack position. So if you've got 2 different weighted a dumbbell and a kettlebell, or different weight kettlebells, let's hold them both. And 1 on each shoulder. And then on the next round, you can swap around to the heavier ones on the other side, or just hold it in the goblet position, the heaviest item you've got. And again, we're going to hold it in that front rack position. If you don't have a particularly heavy weight, another variation of this could be to hold it, but actually hold it out from your center just a smidge. Yeah, it will be a little harder on the arms, but it's going to be a little harder on the core as well. And that's what we want to work on, is a little bit of that core conditioning. So a 30-second front rack hold, all of those variations that we can think of. And then you're going to go into 1 set of max effort kipping handstand press-ups. So for those of you who have kipping handstand press-ups, it's as many of those as you can do in a row, right, unbroken without falling away from the wall or needing to take a break of any kind. I don't want you, however, to do any more than 15 if you can, okay, because you're going to be doing 5 rounds of this. Now, if you don't have kipping handstand press-ups, or if you don't know what the heck that is, don't worry, you won't be doing those. When handstand press-ups come up in workouts, we have a couple of variations that people do. One of them is to have your feet or knees up on a bench or a box, and then we are looking like an L shape, and we modify our body weight that way. The other option is the pike press up, so that pike position from our warm-up, where we can be with a lot of weight over the hands. Okay, so depending on what variation you're going to be doing, it's as many reps as you can do in one set. Okay, without having to take a rest any longer than a count of 2 at any point in the movement, or before you just have to come down. Okay, again, I wouldn't do any more than 20 in the variations, just so you could get blood out of your head. Alright guys, so you're going to then rest a minute and a half between sets. So it's 5 sets of that, your front rack hold, and your max effort set of handstand press-ups, and then a 90-second rest, 5 times through. Alrighty guys, so the coaches will go through modifications with you in the class, so don't worry about that, but I will put up a couple extra videos for you of the pull-up variations. You can play around with those. Otherwise, have a great sesh.